You know, this youngster here, brown bread. Uh, it's not good. Boy 14 found guilty of murdering 12-year-old Ava White. I mean, this is disgraceful. A 14-year-old boy has been found guilty of the murder of a 12-year-old Ava White. The schoolgirl was fatally stabbed in Liverpool city centre on November the 25th last year. The 14-year-old, who cannot be named for legal reasons, claimed he accidentally stabbed the schoolgirl in the neck in self-defence. I don't get that. I really don't. In court today, more than 20 members of Ava's family were nervously sat in the public gallery. They erupted into cheers as the jury returned a verdict of guilty to the charge of murder. Meanwhile, the defendant on video link put his head in his hands. During the trial, which lasted just over 2 weeks, the court heard Ava and her friends became involved in an argument with the defendant and 3 of his friends after the boys recorded Snapchat videos. The girls had been attending a Christmas light switch-on before the incident took place. The defendant told the jury, "I promise I didn't mean to hit her." Earlier in the evening, he said he heard one of the group threaten to stab his friend if he did not delete a video of Ava. During the trial, the boy's barrister claimed Ava wanted a confrontation, but prosecutor Charlotte Newell QC told the court Ava in particular was appalled and angry, and they were filming her. It's quite insistent they delete the footage. She did not inflict any violence upon him greater than a push, nor did she produce or have any weapon. After the argument, the teenage boy then struck Ava in the neck with a knife. He ran away, discarded the weapon, took off his coat, and that was later found in a wheelie bin. You do stuff like this, you're not going to hide it. The court was told Ava's last words to her friends as she lay there on the ground were, "Don't leave me." She must have been terrified. The 14-year-old boy was later captured on CCTV buying butter in a shop, which he said was for crumpets. When he was arrested, he told police he'd not been in the city centre. In later interviews, he blamed a different boy for Ava's death. The boy will be sentenced at a later date. I mean, you know, he's thrown his life away, isn't he? How do you even begin to sentence or make sense of that? It's awful. Ava's father, Robert Martin, paid tribute to his daughter and said the family had been left completely devastated and heartbroken. In December, hundreds gathered for Ava's funeral at Liverpool Metropolitan Cathedral. Imagine by John Lennon was performed, and loads of glow sticks and phones were held up to light things up in her memory. Her death led for calls for no more knives in our city. At Ava's vigil, hundreds of balloons, some in the shape of Ava, released, and there are tributes galore.